So before I get into the topic of today's commentary, obviously this goes without saying, I gotta give a shout out to the homie Captain Swag. Why am I giving him two shout outs, two videos in a row? Because he's the captain of Swag, son. I mean, how can you not shout out that shit? So shout out to the homie Captain Swag. This video is for you, homie. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not put as much time into brainstorming this video as I should have. To be honest with you, I sat down a couple of different times and I'm like, all right, let's go over what I'm gonna go over. And I was just like, I was getting annoyed, man. I was getting irritated. You know what I mean? Had to take a break, go for a smoke break, went and hung out with whoever. You know what I mean? Went and did something else. This game just brings out the worst of me, man. I've said this many times before, but it really does. It turns me into a different person, man. Dead ass. So this video is going to be about the problems with this game, and I'm going to list the most severe to least severe. All right. And obviously, I'm not going to have everything on this list. You know what I mean? There's going to be a bunch of shit that's wrong with this game that I'm not gonna have on this list, right? So all that little shit. So like just off the top of my head, you know, like how long it takes to find a match. You know what I mean? The just crazy amount of camping that's in this game. Now, yeah, that could be a part of this list as well too, but also the camping, I believe, is a cause and effect of some of the problems that I'm about to talk about. You know, the fact that I can't play Spec Ops. You know what I mean? I still can't play Spec Ops. Now that actually is a huge problem. It really is. That's monumental, actually, man. We're paying our money, and we have a whole third mode that I can't even touch right now, as well as a lot of you. But this list is just mainly from a 6v6 multiplayer standpoint, and why I'm having problems enjoying the game. Why I feel like I hate the game. Right, so yeah, the Spec Ops is a huge problem, again, but I'll repeat myself. I'm just going from why I hate the game from a 6v6 multiplayer standpoint. So, I was kind of torn between three things for the first spot, right? I was torn between skill-based matchmaking, the maps, and the footsteps, right? And now the homie Swag said that his biggest problem with the game was the maps, and I told him I have problems slightly ahead of that type deal, right? And I was going back and forth between these three things for the top of the list, man, because they also go hand in hand too, right? You know what I mean? So let's say, just for a second, let's say that the maps were better. Would the skill-based matchmaking bother you that much? If the skill-based matchmaking wasn't as thick, would the footsteps bother you that much, right? You wouldn't have to worry about your footsteps being loud if you're playing against noobs or weaker players or dudes that don't take this shit so seriously with their $300 fucking headsets on, camping, listening for footsteps. You know what I mean? So these problems kind of go hand in hand, you know. And then the maps with the fucking windows, and you could get flanked everywhere. There's so many ways you can get flanked from. The fucking dark corners for bitches camping, all the head glitch spots, never mind the fucking doors, man. Oh my god, I remember one of the first videos I made about this game after the beta dropped. I believe it was my first little review of the game, of the beta, you know, what I thought of the game so far. And I think one of the first things I talked about, man, was the doors were just so fucking stupid. And it's funny, now you hear everybody talk about it, right? But back then I was like, it's just unnecessary. Infinity Ward, all it does is help out a dude that's stationary near that area. You run by, and the thing that pissed me off the most is you run by a door, you don't even have to be looking at it to actually like kick it open or hit it open or whatever, and it would still make this big obnoxious fucking sound opening the door. And now any enemy around your area knows where you are because they just heard you open the door, even though you weren't trying to open the door. For me, man, though, I gotta go with number one, footsteps, man. I have to. Some people might think that's a menial, like, little problem. To me, it is the most severe problem I have to deal with in this game. And the reason why is because of my playstyle, right? I wouldn't care about skill-based matchmaking so much if these bitches who I know I'm better than, a lot of them, there's a lot of people out there better than me, but a lot of these dudes that kill me camping like that, I have better reflexes than them, right? I have more gun skill than they do, right? But they get the kill on me because they hear my footsteps and they're stationary. My playstyle is very aggressive. I'm constantly moving around really quickly, man. Like I said in my video yesterday, got to keep my mind busy at all times. And the footsteps really, it takes my playstyle out. You know what I mean? That the footsteps are destroying my playstyle. So I have to go footsteps number 1, and I'll go skill-based matchmaking number 2, because we can all agree, right, that if the skill-based matchmaking wasn't so thick, even with all the problems, man, the nerf of good players and the bad maps and everything else, yeah, most of y'all would start enjoying this game more. You know what I mean? If once every couple of games, or once every even 4 or 5 games, man, you could have a good game where you go off, man, you pub stomp, right? You know, you would start having a lot better time with this game. And all those games in between, you know, you're sitting around a 1.5, 2, 2.5 KD, right? Because you're not up against people just as good as you camping their ass off fucking streaks all game long listening to your footsteps. So I got skill-based matchmaking in the 2 spot, and I got maps in the 3 spot. The maps are terrible, man, you know. But could we deal with the maps if the footsteps weren't so loud and the skill-based matchmaking wasn't so thick? Yeah, they would still suck, but I think we would be more equipped to deal with them, right? So see how they all kind of feed off each other? But I'm going to put maps in the 3rd spot, man. These maps are fucking awful. It's like, it's comical how bad these maps are, man. Like I said before, you got so many ways to get flanked from. There's no map control whatsoever. You know, it's like, I relate Call of Duty to sports. I watch a lot of sports. So you could relate it to hockey, you could relate it to basketball, shit like that. And you know, you have a goal, right? The enemy team comes in your zone, and they're trying to score a goal on you, right? And you get the puck off them, right? So what is your goal once you get that puck? You going one way with it, right? So you're gonna give it to somebody on your team that's skilled enough to carry it into the offensive zone, or you're gonna shoot it up the board. You're gonna dump and chase. Hopefully not playing the trap or some shit. You're gonna dump and chase it. Hopefully you get some quick feet in there. Somebody picks it up, and then you start playing it around the boards, man. You get set up and you shot, right? You get set up. You start throwing it back and forth between the defense, man. Try to get a tip. You know, somebody going one time it or something like that. Try to get a tip. You got your one goal, man. You know exactly what you want to do. In older Call of Duties like Treyarch Max with the 3 lanes, you knew where you were going. You knew where traffic was. In this game, you don't fucking know, man. It's random as hell. It's just so stupid, man. And then the doors and the windows and shit everywhere. Ridiculous, man. So in the number 4 spot, I'm going to put the spawns. We've had bad spawns in Call of Duty a lot. In a lot of different Call of Duties. But they'll usually get fixed. These spawns are geared to take you off streaks. I mean, they're awful, man. I can't get over how bad the spawns are in Shoot House, man. They really take you out of the game. You just leave the game salty, man. You just leave your session salty, man. There's just nothing but mad salt going on with these bitch ass spawns, man. It's ridiculous. Alright, so 5 on the list. I got the hit detection, the shoot first and die, and we could throw the time to kill in there, right? It's all bundled into one little package there for the number 5 spot. It's ridiculous, man. It's insane how quickly you could die, but then how long it feels like it takes you to kill somebody sometimes, man. And that's the hit detection, that's the time to kill. It's all bundled into one package, like I said, but the shoot first and die, man, is so real. I can't tell you how many times, man, I've been one off a VTOL or a chopper gunner, and I got a dude in my sights, and I'm getting that rush, like, yeah, I'm about to pick up my fucking chopper gunner and my gunship or whatever, my advanced UAV, whatever I got going on, and I'm shooting him first. He's not even looking at me. He turns, shoots 2 bullets, and boom, I'm dead. So what is that, man? What can you chalk that up to time to kill? Can you chalk that up to hit detection? Can you chalk that up to nerf for good players? Whatever you could chalk it up to is bullshit. We'll chalk it up to that, and it's nonsense, and it's easily in the 5 spot of what I hate about this game. Number 6, I got the gun balance, man. The gun balance is fucking awful, dude. You know, you usually just see like the 3 guns. You know, when they drop new guns, you'll see them for a bit in the lobbies. 3 guns, man. I don't even have to tell you guys what they're. You guys can probably drop it in the comments section, and you don't even have to think about it for a second. You already know what 3 guns I'm talking about. It's ridiculous, man. Anyway, number 7, I'm going to put the perk balance. I just, like, the perk balance is not horrible. right? We've actually seen worse perk balance before. It's Ghost that's ruining it though, man. Because Ghost is helping these campers, right? We call a UAV in, and they ain't got to move, man, and they're off the map. And then if you're trying to fucking seek them out to keep your streak going, to try to pick up your next streak, and they're just going to hear you from a mile away, man, and take your bitch ass out. Ghost, Treyarch fixed it back in 2012. You guys have heard me say this a million times. Like, why change that, Infinity War? Who asked for that to be changed, right? Treyarch Call of Duties, except for Black Ops 1 a little bit, but a lot of people rushed in that game too. Treyarch Call of Duties promote rushing. You can't tell me that Black Ops 4 wasn't a rusher-friendly game. It definitely was. And personally, for me, I don't want Call of Duty time to kill. I don't want your health to be that high, 150, 200 with fucking crash and body armor and all that shit like we had in Black Ops 4. But I felt like higher skilled players, if you were more skilled with sticks, I felt like greatness was achieved more. There was less shoot first and die with that higher time to kill. That's just my opinion, man. I feel like the lower time to kill, that fast time to kill, helps the noobs and the weaker players camping, right? They get a couple of bullets in your butt cheek, you dead, right? You have the ability to turn on them, and if you have better accuracy than them, if you have better reflexes than them, if you have more gun skill than them, then you can turn on them, take their bitch ass out, and you just picked up your sniper's nest. You just picked up your strike team. Whatever, you know? But yeah, so bringing back overpowered Ghost is a big problem in my opinion, and this kind of goes into my number 8, which is going to be last on this list, is the minimap, right? A lot of these dudes that are camping, as hard as they are, listening for footsteps, and they got overpowered Ghosts on, so they don't have to move if you're lucky enough to pick up a fucking UAV and shit like that, right? Is they don't have to worry about throwing a silencer on their gun and they still stay off the minimap. And all that does is help campers, man. The dudes that are stationary, trolling everybody, you know, because they weak ass bitches. They just sitting there just trying to ruin everybody's fucking day. Or it's because they're so low skilled in Call of Duty. They can't get kills running the gun, right? It takes more skill to rush. The minimap not working properly, my bad, is a huge problem for me, because I've been killed so many times close to a streak, 1 off a streak, 2 off a high streak, you know, because like I heard gunfire. Actually uploaded a video showing this. I'm coming down a set of stairs, right? I think it was on Piccadilly, and I could hear the dude's gun sound, right? I could hear him shooting his gun, but the sound of the gun, the way it was echoing or whatever, it sounded like he was to my right. So I came down the stairs, and you know, I took my time a little bit. I came down the stairs, looked right at the right, was ready to take him out, and I'm pretty sure I was close to a streak, and he was actually to my left though, right? Their sound was off. Now the sound is great in this game, but it sounded like he was to the right, man. He actually was to the left, and he ends up shooting me in my ass, man, right up my butthole. You know what I mean? Takes me off my streak. That's it, done. Now, he was shooting an unsuppressed weapon. If the minimap worked properly, I would have known exactly where he was, and then we would have had a straight up gunfight. You know, not this peekaboo shit. But yeah, so that's the list of what I can think of right now. I'm sure I'm missing something that would be pretty important. You know what I mean? Something where I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I would have added that. But honestly, like I said earlier in this commentary, man, the more time I spent on it, the more irritated I got. And those were just the main points that I could think of. You know, obviously, like I said, the top 3 spots, the footsteps, you know, goes without saying, we need a dead silence perk, man, or you got to quiet the footsteps right up. One or the other, man. It needs to be one or the other, man. And the skill-based matchmaking is just, it's ridiculous, man. It just makes every game a sweat fest. It makes every game unenjoyable. And then the maps, man, the maps just take you right out. And the maps promote camping. You know, it's like, you know, we got this cake right now, man. Infinity Ward, they went and baked this cake, right? And they dressed it up with some icing, you know what I mean? So the icing's going to be, you know, the dope-ass gun sounds and the way the guns look and feel and shit like that. And the gunsmith and the few other good things that they did with this game, right? And they dressing up this shit cake, man, this poop cake. And they dressing it up with this icing, man. That is those gun sounds and all that. The little bit of good that they did. When you still cut through that bitch, man, it's still going to be shit. It's still shit. It's going to taste like shit. It's going to smell like shit. It's going to look like shit, man. Because it is shit. Infinity Ward, man. You think I make these videos for the good of my health, bruh? Like, I'm making these videos because I care about this product. I care about this franchise. You know, I want to see Call of Duty succeed. Especially now that I'm a YouTuber, man. I want to be able to jump on here and just have fun, bro. We all do. Like I said, I probably missed something. And I'll kick myself in the ass later for it. I'm sure something substantial. If I missed it, you guys will let me know in the comment section. But just that right there, man. And a lot of those problems filter down into how bad the camping is, right? You know, the hit detection, the time to kill, the perk balance, the spawns, the fucking maps, the mini map, the footsteps being so loud, no dead silence perk, the skill-based matchmaking. That all causes camping. Every one of those points that I just brought up right there, they all promote camping, you know, and there's some other shit too. But yeah, you guys can let me know what I missed in the comment section, man. That's just what I could think of. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.